Hello everyone, and welcome to a new episode of LostinTranslationmon. This time we'll be covering Digimon Adventure Last Evolution Kizuna and answering the question of what is the experience for this movie for somebody with little to no nostalgia for Digimon or Digimon Adventure. So I'll be joined by Brady, my partner. But before we get into covering the movie, here's a quick synopsis if you need a refresher for this movie, as it did come out a little over a year ago. So a mysterious illness starts causing chosen children around the world to fall unconscious, as well as having their Digimon partner disappeared. The chosen children meet Manoa, who tells them that Digimon only have a limited time with their human partners and disappear when the chosen grows up. And we also learn that there's a Digimon that's called Eosmon who is behind the illnesses that's affecting these chosen children. Taichi and Yamato have to face the fact that they will soon part from their Digimon partners when they have to continue to evolve and fight to save the other children, because with each evolution and each battle, the time that they have with their partner Digimon is decreasing with each battle and evolution. Manoa is revealed to have created Eosmon as she forced herself to grow up early and caused her own Digimon partner to disappear at the age of 14 when she was able to skip enough grades to attend university. Agumon and Gabumon evolve to their final forms, Bond of Courage and Bond of Friendship respectively, and they are able to defeat Eosmon, but Agumon and Gabumon still disappear at the end of the movie. Taichi and Yamato say that they'll see each other again, and Taichi decides on his thesis topic: can Digimon and humans coexist with each other? What were your thoughts about this movie as somebody with little to no nostalgia about the Digimon franchise and Digimon Adventure overall?
It was alright, yeah.
There are the few moments in this movie that sort of wanted you to feel nostalgic. Like, there are a few references, which I will go over later, about like visual or auditory references to the Digimon Adventure. So what was your experience like as somebody without any of that nostalgia to feel things at those moments?
No, I remember the show as a kid, so it's, I still remember, and that's how the kids looked when I was watching the show.
The kids looked like they were 20 when you were...
No, in the scenes where they're not old, they're young again. That's what I remember. So, no, I still remember.
But what did you, did you feel like did you have any connection to the movie? Like, did you enjoy the movie? And what were your thoughts about the movie overall?
Yeah, it was alright, I guess it just explores, normal themes of growing up and moving on and getting on with life.
So were there any particular moments that you enjoyed in the movie? Or anything that stood out to you?
Not really. I guess probably there was a really overused motive for the butterfly constantly, all the time.
Yeah.
They always use the butterfly for everything. And I would probably guess, it might be heavy-handed, but it's, butterflies are always used as a rebirth sort of thing. Short-lived transformation sort of.
Yeah, there is that.
But
the opening in the Japanese version of the first season is called Butterfly.
Oh, there you go. So maybe not.
Yeah. No, it's very much a theme in a lot of Digimon overall about the theme of a butterfly.
Yeah.
And also Morphmon sort of is a butterfly. But yeah, no, you are right. There are a lot of those butterflies themes, and yeah,
everything was butterfly. Even the crystals, they had a butterfly shape.
Yeah, everything was butterfly.
There was constantly.
Yeah. Anything else that you picked up on?
Probably, I don't know, it might be a bit heavy-handed for them, but the shielding, the fact that she wanted to protect all the kids and she wanted to protect everyone, and shields were a main part of everything that she did, which is not something that I've seen in other Digimon stuff. So shielding was constant. She was using a shield as a weapon. There were parts where she created a shield to cut and damage other things. So using a shield as a weapon and her wanting to protect everything kind of ties in thematically.
Yeah, there is that.
Even if it may not be intentional, but
I think it is. I didn't really think about how the design of Eosmon is a shield, and also the fact that she's shielding the kid, so I didn't actually think of that. So that's a very good. I think that is probably on purpose. Now you brought that up, I didn't actually pick up on that, but that is a good point. And also,
it makes sense that if she designed the Digimon, then it would be protective.
Yeah, and it's the goddess of dawn, and dawn is another way of that. That's another rebirth. So you've got the butterfly, which is evolution and rebirth.
Yeah. And
dawn is also evolution and rebirth of the day. So there's a few themes there that have to do with the rebirth and what Eosmon stands for, which is the shielding of the other kids. Was there anything else you picked up on?
No, not really. Apart from that, it was a pretty, predictable movie. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really see anything else. Everything else is pretty standard. It was kind of boring. The what do they call it? Evolutions?
The evolutions.
Boring.
Well, you didn't actually get that many.
To anything else. Like, normally that's like a huge, that's normally a big deal in all the movies with lots of music and lots of things, the first ones.
Yeah, we didn't actually see many of the evolution, like, animations. We saw the two at the start, which were animated exactly how they were in Adventure, like the first season.
Yeah.
Like in the same style, the same poses, but they were obviously reanimated. So it was nice to see though that style and them being in that position instead of just doing completely new evolutions, animations like they did in Try. Like it was like the evolution from Greymon to Metal Greymon is basically scene for scene the same as the evolution in the first season, and I really like that. That's another one of those nostalgic bits where the fact that they use Bolero, and later on we have the Digi-Egg that appears on Manoa's screen appears in the same way that the Kuramon egg appears in our war game. And there's a few nostalgic scenes there. I haven't seen any of that, sorry. We did watch the Digimon movie a little bit ago. The one where it's actually 3 movies combined. We've got the first part.
No, never mind. I remember.
Yeah, the first part has them as little, like, young kids, and then the second part has them as, like, sort of like the same age as they were in the show, and then the last part has them a little bit older with the 02 kids, which was the one who liked the ramen in this movie. Yeah, I guess,
well, it was stupid because the whole thing they said that you can't, if you stop digivolving, then there's reaches a point where you can't do it and you don't have any growth anymore or potential. And then that's why you lose your Digimon.
Well,
And then they inferred that she never evolved her Digimon. It was still a kid or whatever they call it.
Yeah, the child.
And that's why, at 14, she was going to college and never Digivolved because she never spent time doing that, and then it disappeared. But then at the end, the two guys did the Digivolve.
Yeah, they did the
Digivolve, and then they died anyway.
Yeah, because
that was dumb.
That was
it doesn't make any. Yeah, that doesn't. Evolution. Yeah, but they should have extended it because they did. They didn't. They weren't at the end of the track.
But every evolution does sort of speed up that time as well. So it's a few things to take into account.
When the timer's on there, but then that didn't matter before of it. If
not with her, she's different.
If Digi Evolution sped it up, then they would have died ages ago, as compared to the kid that was 14 years old. That doesn't make any sense. And I'm gonna call someone and tell them.
You're gonna call Mr. Digimon Rider.
Call Mr. Digimon Rider.
The Digimon creator.
It's just silly because they made out like everything was going to be cool, and you thought it wasn't, and then they did die. So I guess that was the big. Yeah, it's not such a kid movie because they turn around and it's like, hey, what are we going to do tomorrow? Ernie's dead. All right, let's move on.
No, this movie is not for kids. Like the other movies were.
Well, maybe it's for people who grew up watching Digimon.
Yeah, it's definitely.
They watched it, but sure.
Do you have any other thoughts about this movie in general?
No.
No? All right, so I'm going to educate you on some things.
Oh.
So there were 2 seasons of this universe. We had a discussion during the movie about how different seasons of Digimon have their different universe. They don't all sort of take place in the same universe except for season 1 and 2. And season 2 continue on from season 1 with the same children, but with a few additional ones, which we also saw in the movie. And at the end of this season, it jumped forward 25 years to the year 2027, which is 6 years away now, and actually told it sort of gave them an update about what those kids were doing when they were 25 years older. So if you would put this headphone in, I have the clip to show you, which is from the ending of Digimon Adventure 02. It's just a headphone, you just put it in your ears.
I know. It's too loud.
I will turn the volume down.
Oh.
Be nice about the animation. This was 2000 this 2001, I think, maybe 2000.
And you get, what is it? His child is just a clone. Is that it's a clone of him?
All of the chosen their children look exactly like their parents.
They're just mini-me's clones.
Like it's not like
save money on animation.
Yeah, guess whose kid he is.
Be really obvious if someone was sleeping around because they gave birth to a child that looked exactly like someone else.
I'll have you notice that they all have their Digimon.
Yeah.
So that ties in with his thesis at the end of the movie.
Why does Ago? What's his name? What?
He became an astronaut. That's why he was with the rocket at the end of the movie.
That doesn't need to breathe. Why has he got a suit?
I think he does need to breathe. Sora, the character who didn't appear in the movie, basically, but also her Digivice had greyed out, so it was kind of implied that her Digimon also died.
I remember that guy.
Yeah, Joe. He was also a doctor.
No, the other guy.
Ogamon. Yeah.
Not Joe.
Mimi's my favourite.
The bug.
Yeah, that's the bug, your favourite.
I'll bet he is.
Oh, this part really annoyed me when I was 8, because she was really into computers. She becomes a full-time mother.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I know. I was annoyed by that as a kid, but
Okay.
I guess...
He became a police officer with a man-eating bug as a sidekick.
No, he's an armadillo.
That's horrific.
Oh, you mean Stingmon, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
he became a police
Yeah.
officer.
Yeah, no, yeah. Well, you already become an attorney. Oh yeah, Daisuke became a noodle cart owner.
That's not right.
That's why he ate ramen.
Right.
I'll have you notice the magazine's called Time in this and not Lime like it was in Kizuna.
This is for kids, right? This
This is for kids.
Okay. Masak.
That's why it's always like...
Masako? What is that? I don't know what that is.
His shirt is just... I don't know.
The
Yeah,
animators ran out of money here, so they couldn't give everyone shirt lines or like
No.
buttons or anything.
It was the year 2000. Wow, one of those kids looks very evil. That kid looks so evil. It's the one of the
Doesn't
kids.
even have a nose.
Also, look.
Butterflies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how this season ended was an old man called Oikawa who became a bad guy because he always wanted a Digimon partner, right?
Right.
And then he got kind of a little bit upset that these kids got to have Digimon partners and he didn't.
Sure.
So he became a bad guy and got corrupted by Vamdemon, who was a vampire. And then at the end of the season got to meet his Digimon
Yeah.
and then promptly died.
Oh, you get that.
And he became the butterflies. So
He became the butterfly.
yeah, don't question it.
All right.
But so that knowing
Yeah.
So knowing all that and knowing that this would take place 17 years after the movie that we just watched, they do meet again.
That's nice.
One would assume
Okay.
that is all canon. But when I first watched that, I was a kid who was, really into IT, and Miyako was really into IT, and then she kind of, I guess the ending didn't really say that she pursued that, but a CD drama did come out that actually said that she was just on maternity leave, so that's okay. And then Kizuna had her working in university as a computer scientist, or was studying to be one. So that was exciting.
A lot of stuff that I'm not going to
lot of
remember
stuff.
90 seconds from now.
No, it's 90 seconds from now, it is gone. Next, another thing I want to educate you on is why this movie annoyed me. So this was actually the first time I watched this movie. I read the novelization back in February last year, so just before the movie came out. And the main reasons I didn't like it was, do you remember the third part of the Digimon movie that we watched? With the bunny, and the bunny dies at the end. And by the way, we saw the bunny the guy with the two bunnies in this movie, and he was okay.
The evil one and the good one.
Yeah, the evil one and the
right,
good one.
Yeah, I remember.
So the English version actually cuts out a side plot to that movie where the evil bunny has kidnapped all the chosen children and has reverted them to children.
Okay.
Does that sound familiar?
Yes, I think I just...
Yeah, we just saw that. So that's the first thing. The next thing is the fact that Manoa's motivation for being kind of a little bit evil is the same as in Try.
I mean, she was comatosing children in the real world, so yeah, that's pretty evil.
Yeah. In Try, there was a character, and spoilers for Try if you haven't seen it, and you and I have seen the first 3 parts.
Great.
There is a character called Maki, who we find out is deeply, deeply traumatized because she was an original chosen and her Digimon died. And she kind of just becomes obsessed with trying to make this Digimon reborn. So she reboots the entire digital world in hopes that she can meet her Digimon again, which means basically killing all the Digimon partners.
Did it work?
No, she ends up strangling her Digimon because the Digimon doesn't remember her.
Oh, that's good.
So I would like to show you my favourite scene in all of Try.
The strangling.
No. Gosh, no. So this is called the original Digidestined flashback. And it's in this. It's the first part of part 4, and it's in it's got some nice music to it, which I'm hoping is coming through.
Yeah,
to you, good, because the headphones weren't working before. So in the first season, we learned that the chosen that we know of with Taichi and the others aren't the first group of chosen children. That there was another group before, and in Try we actually get to meet 2 of those
They lasted
children.
14 seconds each before getting eaten by that giant bug from the first episode.
Which giant bug? Quagmon. Also, a bit of Digimon lore. There are 4 holy gods. One is a dragon, one is a turtle, one is a beast, and one is a phoenix. There's also some Eastern mythology there as well.
Is this a silent movie? What is this?
It's sort of meant to be, sort of. It's a style. And those are the Dark Masters, by the way, who are bad guys.
It's Jokermon. It's Jokermon.
And they appear in the first season. His name is Piedmon.
I don't think so.
There is a Jokermon, though.
Oh.
And there's also an entity called Homeostasis who likes to possess little girls.
Okay.
And give exposition. And that character is Maki, who is the one who has a breakdown and gets traumatized because her Digimon dies.
Yeah, you get that.
Which is, again, what happened to Manoa in Kizuna.
Well, traumatizing children is a long-running trope of this show, then. Maybe they should use adults.
Yeah, and then they did.
I don't know. They run out of money to animate this as well? Or?
No, I think it looks good.
Okay, yeah.
That's her Digimon, by the way.
Oh, okay, alright.
And I really like the music in this scene.
Well, that's what I wanted, because that's right from the movie. They always had, like, a backing of, like, tragedy opera.
Yeah, tragedy opera. Also sometimes bolero. So their Digimon became, there were 5 original chosen. 4 of them became gods. 1 of them just died.
Oh, you get that, I mean.
And it's this one who dies. And who doesn't get to evolve.
It looks like a Doom NPC, like a Doom boss.
Oh, there's a lot of characters who look like Doom bosses in this.
Or just actually a typical like Chinese winged serpent or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that too. So yeah, they all fired through it to build up their attack. So they basically obliterated one of the characters' Digimon to power up the attack.
Oh, that's power of the attack.
Yeah.
Right, no.
There's some, I don't know, just go with it. That's
effectively used him as a silencer.
And kind of traumatize this poor character as they became the gods.
How come
of the
the other
world.
Guys weren't doing stuff like this? This seems a lot more overpowered, and the other bunch of kids are throwing around little basketball-sized Digimon. These guys are doing stuff.
In Kizuna, I like the shots of the chosen children around the world, and one of them just had Numamon, who throws poo, and when it was fighting the Eosmon, there was just poo. So yeah, she's kind of traumatized because only 4 of them were chosen to become the gods.
And she becomes evil? Is this the one who chokes her Digimon?
Yep.
That's fair.
Yeah, so she reboots the digital world, goes to see her Digimon, and then...
It doesn't recognise. Can't they just be friends again?
No, well, yeah, you'd think that, but she's so, like, traumatized and broken at this point.
But she rebooted it. Why would it remember if she restarted everything?
I don't think she thought it through, but then she strangles the Digimon, and then she goes into a corrupted part of the digital world called the Dark Ocean with an AK-47.
Right. And
is never seen again.
Well, we've been there before, haven't we?
Yeah, we've all been there before. It happens every day. For me, it was just Tuesday. So that's a bit of education on Digimon. So now you know why the novel really annoyed me. That I've been not really wanting to watch this movie because of those 2 points. I feel like we've done it before, and now we did it again in Kizuna. So did your thoughts about the movie change? And also, we have the epilogue as well, where we know that the kids are okay.
No, it's fine. People are always going to play on nostalgia. It's like the number one thing, especially when your fan base is getting older.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're still making this show like they're making
they just rebooted it just finished last weekend, but they rebooted Digimon Adventure and they made them all like kids in the year 2020 and they kind of changed the storyline, and also the Digivice now looks like this. See, and there's also another one there.
I guess they're selling toys in the end. That's
what the Digivice now looks
like.
So
it's for kids, right?
Yeah, the new season was for kids, and
it's all I hear about now for people for stuff like Demon Slayer and stuff like that. I don't know who's marketing this stuff.
Yeah, well, Demon Slayer that's still a shonen.
Yeah, so it's for kids, is it?
I mean, I wouldn't say for kids. I think it's for everyone, but Digimon is, I would say, more for kids, I guess. But there is a new season of Digimon that starts tomorrow called Digimon Ghost Game, and that has them using the Vital Bracelet as the Digivice, which is the the little watch that I wear.
Yeah, well, they must be producing it for a reason. The toy lines must sell, I guess. Like Star Wars and Disney, they're just producing it for the.
Yeah, well, they're also acknowledging that people like it from other places now.
What do you mean?
Like from outside of Japan.
Well, I think it was pretty big in Australia. Next, it was like a Pokemon competitor.
Yeah, but they're putting like English subtitles on their live streams with.
Right.
They do something called Digimon Navi, which is kind of like a Nintendo Direct, but for Digimon.
I've lost interest.
You've lost interest.
I've
lost interest, Mon.
Lost interest.
Okay, I'm sorry. Anyways, so what were your highlights from this movie?
I don't really have... Oh, actually, you know what? The animation, I guess, was pretty cool. Of the thing.
Eosmon?
The big one.
Eosmon.
The bee one, though, when it turned into a bee sort of thing.
Still Eosmon.
Alright, I feel like it should have a different name, but whatever.
Oh, speaking of things with names, Agumon and Gabumon evolve into things. They do actually have names.
What are they called?
Well, the one that Agumon evolves into, is Agumon, Bond of Courage.
That's nice.
And Gabumon evolves into Gabumon Bond of Friendship.
That's nice.
Because that's their crest approach.
Encouraging friendship to die like
Yeah.
a day later.
Yeah, basically. I don't even think that's a day later. But no, the animation was quite good.
Yeah, it was fun,
Yeah.
flexible, like nice, smooth, the shields and everything, the honeycomb patterns, all that sort of, the lighting, the brown lighting. It was
Yeah.
different to other stuff. And it's hard, I guess, to make it look different because the other movies that we saw, they're fighting in 3D digital scapes that are all roughly the same. So the only way to change that up is to put stuff in there or change the colour palette. And they did.
And they did, yeah.
So brown and sort of gold was a really big colour
Yeah.
of this.
And lots of purple and blue. And the butterfly.
And then they went for Naruto colours for the two main guys.
Well, yeah, that's a trope
orange and blue.
Yeah, that's a trope in. They've got the red guy and the blue
Yeah.
guy. That's just a trope in lots of anime.
Yeah.
Like the blue and the red guy always fight.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I guess orange and
They're
red.
friends now.
Well, they're friends. Like that's the whole thing. Except that Taichi had a crush on Sora. You know, the character who didn't exist in this movie.
Oh, no.
Yep.
My real highlight of the movie was the start where they kill the giant parrot.
Oh, again.
So that's my favourite part. I don't even recognise him.
He was in the movie. He was the one that the Greymon fought in Hikari ga Oka.
Definitely the one where they stake the parrot to the ground with 50 spears and then send him to...
That felt like overkill.
Yeah.
Considering just Greymon beat him last time.
Doesn't make any... Why does it take so much? And then they smashed all these buildings, probably killed a bunch of people. Like,
Yeah.
they don't really talk about the aftermath of this sort of thing.
They didn't try because Taichi saw some like damage happen and he
I
was
remember
like,
this.
yeah.
They flash back to it. Like,
And he was like, I'm really upset about this like one phone and broken bridge.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I do remember that. Yeah.
But yeah, this movie had a lot of collateral damage. My highlights were basically the ones that I guess the writers and animators of this movie wanted me to have, which is all the callbacks to the other bits of Digimon. We have Bolero, which played a lot in the original series. We had the animations of Agumon to Greymon and Greymon to Metal Greymon. I wish that we had more of these evolutions that were just shot for the same as the original. I thought they were really nice, but again, that's just playing at nostalgia.
They ignored all those characters.
Yeah,
original ones.
they annoyed all the other ones. Yeah, that checks
Because I
out.
remember a big deal in the first. I remember watching it as a kid. The cactus was a big deal,
Cactus is big deal.
and then it's now they didn't even show it. Now it's they all humanoid
Yeah.
Aggo Man
Aggo
and
Man.
the other one.
Agumon and the other one,
And what's the other one?
Gabumon.
Walrus.
Walrus. No, that's Gomamon.
The same guy.
Same
but
guy.
They they didn't really focus on anyone else.
Oh no, they don't like to do that, really. But I liked all the callbacks. I liked when we got to see all the other Chosen. They're actually Chosen that we've seen in the show in the second season of Digimon, which is the one where they're just a little. It's set in the year 2002, and it's the one from the epilogue that we just watched. They actually go around the world and they meet the Digidestined with racist stereotypes. So we meet the Australian one who's at a beach. And by the way, did you know that they go from the Sydney Harbour Bridge to the Great Barrier Reef in about 4 seconds?
I think
by boat.
I think okay. I think they're close.
No, they're like 5,000 kilometres.
No, really? Where's the Great Barrier Reef?
Queensland?
It's dead anyway. Don't worry about it. It's
Oh,
fine.
you woof. Wasn't in 2002.
Yeah. True. Yeah.
They go to Mexico and there's a little Mexican girl and that's really cute. And she's got a rock.
That makes sense because Japan's really closed, isn't it? Like they're not really super aware.
Yeah.
Even 20 years ago they were not like what's the word insular. You know what I mean? They're not really. Don't have a huge...
Yeah.
Generally speaking, don't have a huge widespread
Well,
knowledge.
yeah, the Australian character, and I told you this when we watched the movie, is Dingo.
Yeah.
And the Jedi that's from Australia, his name is Eucalyptus.
Yeah, they may not be like on top of the whole...
naming conventions.
No, but just cultural awareness now that it's sort of pervading everything. I couldn't like make a show and I make the kid's name and I would like, what's his name? His name is Sushi Roll. Like you can't I can't do that.
Yeah.
Like what's a Japanese animal?
Animal?
Yeah, like no Japan. If they kill a kid dingo, what would you call it?
Tanuki.
No, something like when you think Japan, what do you think the animal of Japan is?
Well, I'm thinking of Tanuki. A deer, I guess. I don't know because of Nara.
If you think of Australia, you think of like kangaroos or dingoes and stuff. Like dingo got my baby.
Yeah,
and stuff like
or
that.
an
So
emu.
what do you think of Japan? Like what?
I would think the monkey.
I think you're wrong. Anyway,
You think I'm wrong?
I think you're wrong. I don't think of monkeys when you think of
because I think of
Japan.
the onsen monkeys.
Yeah.
Or like the deer in Nara.
I think of like maybe an octopus or something.
An octopus.
So
Oh yeah, all those octopus running around Japan.
So, what? No, like...
No, the bird.
What bird?
The, oh, I'm terrible. What's that bird?
They probably have a national animal.
I think it might be actually the crane.
No.
I think it might be the crane.
Doesn't sound right.
I will Google it after this.
Maybe it's parrots.
Maybe it's parrots. Could be parrots. Maybe it's a cactus.
No,
I don't know. But no, I see your point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just loved the fact that we got to see the chosen children that we've seen. We got Michael, who's American, with a Betamon. We had all the chosen children around the world who we've met in the Digimon World Tour arc. We had Willis/Wallace/Walrus, and so Wallace is American.
I know.
Yeah, and he speaks English in the movie. But that reminds me of in this movie, which I guess
flashback she spoke Japanese.
Yeah, in the flashback she spoke fluent Japanese to Morphmon, which I'm assuming that she would speak she'd be speaking not like in Japanese. I felt like that was a weird thing.
Yeah, but that's normally done in movies. Like you can't. Once you heard her English in the movie, she's obviously not a native speaker. So.
I think she sounded fine.
It sounded fine, but not a native speaker. So using like long sentences would have sounded a bit clunky.
Well, we did have in Hurricane Touchdown, which is a Japanese version of the third part of the movie that we watched a little bit ago. Wallace does speak English in the scenes without the other chosen around, and it's a little bit clunky, but I think that the voice actress was actually fluent in English, but
it's a tough language.
I think the words that they gave the actress didn't fit. Like she says, "Please tell Mum, Amy, I'm going to the summer memory." That's nice. But it's meant to be, "Please tell Mum, Amy, that I'm going to the summer memory."
Right, okay.
So he's talking to somebody called Amy, but he just says, "Please tell Mum, Amy."
Strung it together.
Yeah, so there's some... But yeah, it just kind of stuck out to me as why she's speaking Japanese. But yeah, so do any other highlights? Because all mine are just nostalgia. Like it worked for me.
That was my 2 highlights.
2 highlights, yeah. Lowlights?
Not really. It was just a typical movie. Like I could you could write that plot in 30 minutes. It's the same plot as every other of their movies.
Well, yeah.
It's every story. One day everyone was happy and then they had to just fill in the blanks.
But the tears didn't bring their Digimon back to life.
That's true. I was really surprised at the end when the Digimon didn't come back, and that was a little bit upsetting for everybody involved.
In season 4 of Digimon, one of the characters actually went to the digital world because he fell down some stairs and was put into a coma, and that's how he got into the digital world and actually became
he hit a phone at the bottom of the stairs. What happened?
No, I don't know. It's never explained. He just goes there.
He bashed his head on a CRT monitor.
No, he was looking for his long lost brother. He'd only just found out existed by his dying grandmother, and he fell down some stairs trying to stalk his brother, and then entered the digital world where his brother was, but also lost his memories, so he became an evil Digimon.
That makes sense.
And then he remembered who he was.
Oh,
so at the end of the season, he's on an operating table dying, and the kids somehow burst into the operating theatre of a hospital
and
cry on him.
Oh, they did? Oh, I was joking. Oh, okay. I didn't expect that.
And he goes back to life.
You get that, the power of courage and all that.
Yeah, but no, this didn't happen there. My low light is, I'm fairly certain that Piomon died, which is the pink bird, who is partnered with Sora, who was the character that didn't really appear.
How do you know that?
What?
How do you know they died?
At the end, when she's, saying, go Taichi after the whistle blow, which is another highlight. The whistle blow was big nostalgia for me. She looks at her Digivice, and it's black and cracked, like Taichi and Yamato's was. And no one else gets
black,
that.
It was grey.
Yeah, it was greyed out, and, it looked dead and broken. And Taichi had that, and Yamato had that.
Maybe
but
that's
so
just, her stone replica that she has.
Maybe a stone replica. But I feel like it didn't highlight that enough that she had grown up and moved on from the Digimon, but she
didn't tell anyone else about that?
No.
She didn't tell anyone else that a Digimon died?
So there is a bunch of shorts, which I do have here.
No, it's fine, please.
In this Blu-ray here, but it was only one was released with English subtitles.
Okay.
And in it, Mimi and Sora talk about how Sora doesn't want to fight anymore, and she doesn't want to be part of the Chosen. She just wants to move on and be an adult and kind of go on her own path. And Mimi's like, "Oh, that's fine. You don't have to fight alongside us."
This is a common enough trope that happens in children's stories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Even as far back as the Narnia books.
Yeah, yeah.
One of the girls in there, they were kings. They were the chosen children, and one of them was like, you know what, I'm done.
Yeah.
And they just stopped believing, and they would not.
That's sad.
They didn't get to go to the secret world. Same thing as her. She stopped believing. She didn't get to go to the digital.
But Biyomon,
Yes,
like,
right.
basically, I'm assuming died. Like, we don't see Biyomon in that scene. We just see her, like, the dead stone Digivice.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't really make a big deal of
Well,
that.
did she try crying on it? I mean, that's...
Yeah, did she try crying? But she was just holding it. And
Yeah,
the only other scene of her in the movie is her hugging Biyomon and saying, "Oh, it's okay, we're together."
Happy. I think that's probably like acceptance, you know.
Yeah,
On.
but
That's
she wasn't transported to the Neverland.
No.
No.
So she didn't have a Digimon.
But she did have a Digimon then, because they were like, Biyomon's like, "Oh, you sure don't want to fight?" And Sora's like, "Oh, no, I don't want to fight. I just want to be here."
Oh, it happened in the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, they sort of address it a little bit, but it did happen in the short. But yeah, that's basically my highlight. That it didn't really, low light rather. That the show didn't, or the movie rather, didn't look at her and sort of show her a bit more and be more obvious. Like, what's she feeling? Kind of like Biyomon died. Like that's really sad. Like, we focus on Taichi and Yamato saying goodbye to their Digimon, but Sora was never in on the conversation.
Well, moving on, accepting grief, that's part of adulthood.
Yeah, but she wasn't in the conversation that they found out their Digimon were going to die.
Yeah, oh well.
So her Digimon would have just disappeared. Like, there is definitely something going on. Like, finding that out, like,
she was too busy arranging flowers. She didn't notice.
Yeah, which was a huge thing, part of her plot in the first season was that
look good, yeah.
She really was into playing soccer.
Oh.
And her mum didn't want her to hurt herself.
Okay.
Because she just said, "Hey, why don't you just come arrange some flowers with me?" And she was like, "No, I don't care about your stupid flowers. I want to play soccer."
There's a name for it for Japanese flower arranging.
I forgot the name for it as well, but it's
a whole thing.
It's a whole thing. Oh no,
training.
she is a successful one. Like, that is her job. She's like the master of it.
Yeah.
Like that's the mum. And in this movie, she's kind of decided to go on along with that path.
Well, she had a parrot. They know a lot about plants. And
yeah,
flowers
maybe that's the evil parrot.
That's
like, we have the evil bug and we have the evil parrot. You know the bug. You know his name. Yeah. You know his story.
I know.
You know who it is. Do you have any other lowlights? No. Did you have a favourite character in this movie?
The red bug guy.
The Tentomon.
Yeah, who a lot of people don't know, but I know a lot about Digimon because I did a lot of Digimon podcasts like this one, is the real villain.
He's
the
real villain.
Overarching villain of all. Because if you notice, in the first season, they fight the bug.
Yes.
And
Kawagamon.
It's the same guy.
No, it's not the same guy.
But then you see the bug, the red one, in his cold, dead eyes, staring at everybody.
Tentomon does have, like, exceptionally dead eyes.
So he's pulling the strings with his bug brothers.
Bug brothers.
I think this is the long con with him.
Yeah.
And I think he's probably the overarching villain. We're going to see like a Moriarty Sherlock Holmes thing here between him and
the bug.
Yeah, I think
the real enemy.
I think so.
The real enemy was the
if
bug.
They should hire me as a writer because that would be great.
That would be great. Yeah, I'd pay to see that.
Yeah.
I think I would have to go with, like, I would say Miyako, but I felt like she wasn't in the movie enough.
Which one's that?
She was the one with the purple hair who was good at computers and had the other bird.
That's wrong.
What do you mean?
Choice is wrong. She was in the movie for 30 seconds.
Okay, yeah, I know, but I always like Miyako.
She didn't do anything.
I know.
She did nothing.
I'm gonna say Koshiro.
Which one's that?
The one with the bug. He drinks oolong tea / potato jerky shakes.
Okay, that makes sense. All right.
Yeah. I like him. I think he was helpful for the movie, but also he was partnered with the bug.
He may not be aware how evil the bug is, though.
Yeah, maybe.
Just look at it. Some of the parts, like you can see in the first ep, I remember it, where in the movies and stuff, where they overcome all the evil and whatever, and he's just in the background, and they could insert some music in there that's like
dun dun dun.
Yeah, and he's just staring, like he's not happy. He has no emotion.
No.
So he's plotting.
He does have those dead green eyes that just like he's quite emotive.
I don't trust it. Is there a figure around here somewhere?
Yeah, he's in there, up there. He's hanging out with Koshiro on his computer. Yeah. There's a gem figure of him hanging it doesn't look trustworthy. There's a figure of all of them.
Everyone else is super trustworthy, I think. Like, everyone else is happy and they've got a smile and stuff like that, but him, you know what I mean?
Even this one? I'm showing him the Tokamon figure with the teeth.
But he's a friendly colour.
He evolves to Patamon, who evolves to Angemon.
That's a friendly colour.
It's a friendly colour.
And he's not horrific, you know what I mean? Like, he's kind of like he's a blob. That one didn't start as a blob.
Yes, he did. He started as like a...
What is he?
He starts as this one.
Oh, that's not so bad then.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not evil.
No, maybe not, because he starts... They all start like that, though.
Maybe they swapped him out.
Maybe they swapped him out. And what about Leomon?
He seems fine. Again, that's a humanoid. Like, that's, to me, that's the most boring thing about the whole show. They all get more humanoid as they get further on, whereas I think they evolve. And
Gabumon doesn't.
He
becomes a metal wolf.
Well, that's fine.
His attack is metal wolf claw, but he fires it from his mouth for some reason.
They seem to imply evolution means becoming more humanoid. I think it should be the other way around.
Yeah. They should become butterflies.
Like, Ago Man should become a 27-headed dragon or something instead.
Orochimon is a Digimon. But, so what about a rating out of 5? So how many stars would you give this movie?
Compared to what?
I don't know, just, like, if you saw this movie just as a movie, like, as, by itself, what would you give it?
It's like a 2 or a 3, because, like, it's, again, like, it's just a popcorn movie. Like, if you, there's no way anyone would ever go out of their way to watch this movie unless you're ready.
Okay, so you're saying that it is... Like, you can't really enjoy it as much.
No, you can, but there's just no reason to. Like, there'll be no reason to like... This is like the Fast and the Furious 10 of...
Fast and Furious. To be fair, it is.
Of movies. Like, all the Digimon movies that I've seen, and anime movies in general, they're pretty much this...
Yeah, I know, I see what you mean. I would actually give it a 3, which is a lot higher than I thought I would. Like, I really felt like the movie did play into the nostalgia more than the novelization.
Even compared to the other ones that we watched, at least the music was good in the other ones. This one didn't even really have music that I remember.
It had the same similar...
Oh, it had the opera style music, but then...
Yeah, it had the same music as the original season. Like, I really liked when the 02 kids showed up. They played like an instrumental version of the opening for 02. I really liked that. There was, at the end, where Agumon and Gabumon decide to, like, continue to fight, there was another... I think the instrumental is just called Zen, or Heroes Theme.
It's boring anyway. For a movie, they should have... Yeah, anyway, for a new movie, they should have done it.
More rap music.
Oh, rap music? Just
the
like
Digi-rap.
a remix or something. Like, like, make it nostalgic, but make it new. Like Aladdin, the new Aladdin movie.
I liked that. I liked the Aladdin
They had
movie.
the Genie song, but they remixed it.
Yeah, they're
and
like...
made it...
I think the Genie song is actually the same as the stage play Genie song, because I'm fairly certain I remember the...
Oh, really?
Mr. Oh, what's your name? Oh, never mind. I'm fairly certain I remember that in the musical version.
Oh, well.
But I'm not 100%.
What I mean. Like,
I loved the new Aladdin, actually.
That wasn't
It's a point for me.
Yeah.
What about... Because we were talking about the My Hero Academia movies while we were watching this. What about... How many stars would you give them for comparison?
Oh, the first one, like 2 stars, and then the second one 3 or 4. Like the second one.
Yeah, well, the first one feels exactly like an actual Digimon movie that already exists, where they go to Okinawa and they have adventures.
Yeah. But they look good. It's different. Those movies look good, and they have like a... Do you know what I mean? Like they're modern. This I don't know. This movie felt modern, but it didn't have a modern story. I guess because it was written already.
Yeah, well, it was set in 2010.
Right, but it was written some of it.
In 2020. Well, it came out in 2020, so I'm assuming...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The book?
The book, yeah, 2020.
Oh, what I meant by modern storyline is, like, it didn't feel... Like, wait, okay, when you pick up a piece of literature... I don't know how it works with anime and stuff, if you pick up a book from, like, the 60s, if you don't know anything about it, you can read it and you can tell it's written in the 60s.
Yeah.
For this, it feels like the plotline was written in the early 2000s or 90s.
Whereas... No, this movie was written like... Well, it came out last year.
Yeah.
But so I'm assuming it was written in, like, 2018,
the My Hero Academia ones, like, they feel modern because the plot lines are kind of modern. You know what I mean?
Except for the first one is exactly like a Digimon movie.
Yeah. I mean, like, over superpowered villain and then temporary power. Yeah. I know what you mean, but still, I know it's...
Yeah. Though I really liked the animation in Kizuna.
Like, yeah, it was fine. It was smooth. It was fine. Yeah. It was okay. Digivolves. They were
Evolutions.
pretty boring.
Yeah.
And then you see the other one evolve, and you see it's like, what's it, Eosmon?
Eosmon,
It's from a distance. So like, what's it doing? And like, you're squinting because on the screen, it's
very
you can't
small,
even see anything. Like they should have cut to them having binoculars and be like, what's it doing? Oh, it's digivolving. How can you tell? I've got a light here that lights up when it happens. Like, it doesn't. I couldn't see anything on the screen. Like, why would they not have that be a huge deal?
Remember when I made you watch Evangelion?
Yeah. Oh wait, no, did they? Maybe they did. No, when it digivolved at the
kind
start.
Yeah.
At the start, that was like when they were fighting it and they were like pretending that the movie was going to be over in 15 minutes or whatever.
Yeah. Which checks out for Digimon.
Yeah, like we'll all get together, we'll all use their powers, and then it wasn't enough, but what if we could do even more?
Yeah.
It didn't. I don't know. That's like people watch this for the. When I was a kid, I used to like watching the Digi.
Yeah, I like the
Because you didn't know what was coming. Well, you did eventually, but you know.
You did eventually.
But you never knew. Like you're always waiting for that one step further, like Dragon Ball Z, Goku, Super Saiyan 2, 3, 4, whatever they're doing. You're always waiting for that one step further. And they made. I don't know if you've seen Dragon Ball Z.
I wasn't allowed to watch it because it's too violent.
Like Dragon Ball Z, when he goes Super Saiyan 3 or whatever, so like it took a whole season for him to get to Super Saiyan 1, and then he goes 3, it took a whole episode of screaming. Like if you watch on YouTube,
that's the same with Digimon.
the supercut, not supercut, the cut, you watch it and he's literally screaming for like 5 minutes. You should watch that on the
I will watch it on YouTube.
It's on the YouTube.
On the YouTube.
It's cool, and it was cool when I was a kid. It's cool now, I think.
Cool.
And that felt like something. That felt like he was doing something. I know they can't dedicate an entire episode of Digimon to Digivolving, but it's a movie. Why couldn't they at least show it interesting?
Well, they did it twice, and I guess they didn't.
The second time was a big deal when it comes out of the water and everything.
Yeah. I know. I thought that was really cool, like with the Eosmon evolving.
It was cool. Yeah, the animation was smooth. It was fine. It was clean. As far as this stuff goes, as far as Digimon goes.
Do you have any more thoughts about Digimon?
No,
it's done. They all died.
They should be done with the franchise. Like,
I'm looking forward to Ghost Game, which comes out tomorrow.
With this stuff,
I'm really looking forward to Ghost Game.
I feel like you've been doing this for my entire life.
Well, I've been doing the podcast since 2015.
Should switch to something new.
We were going to swap to Card Captors Sakura or Dragon Ball.
What about something? Oh, Dragon Ball's cool. But
and compare the differences between the English and Japanese versions. But then Digimon kept on releasing things.
You can do something. There's plenty of use. I'm sure there's lots. I don't really follow anime seasons anymore. I haven't watched an anime series for like 10.
We watched My Hero Academia.
Yeah,
and Demon Slayer.
I mean, like, no, partially though. Not. We just watched a couple.
And what was the other one? Bikini Warriors.
And Bikini Warriors.
Who could forget?
Who could forget?
Iki Towson.
That's
my new podcast.
These are the ones that I remember from like super younger people used to talk about. But
I do a Claymore podcast just to yell into the void about
Claymore
the ending.
Claymore was super cool,
except for the ending.
Except for the ending, but that
was a terrible, terrible ending.
It was a terrible ending, and it would have been equal to like Berserk or something if it actually had I'm sure there's a podcast and stuff about these things. Something new, modern. You could do like
Evangelion.
Something new, modern, like.
Yeah, Evangelion just came out. The last movie came out.
Different series every,
Well, that was the original plan, but Digimon... I thought Digimon was dead when I started this, really.
It is.
But no, there's a new season coming out tomorrow.
Yeah, I know, but I'd like to see the viewership numbers and stuff like that.
It's clearly doing well, or at least it's selling toys.
It's selling toys. I think that was like when we were in Japan. Remember how many what's that guy called? Mega Man, Ultraman.
Ultraman, yeah. Ultraman's like
toy lines.
Oh, fun thing. The Vital Bracelet, the watch that I have.
Yeah.
Has now is now released in Kamen Rider form and Ultraman form.
Oh, Kamen Rider, that's the other one too. Like the toy lines seem, I don't know if they're the same over here, but I feel like they're not. Like the toy lines over there seem really crazily tidy.
Yeah.
And you see like Pikachu advertising banks and stuff like that.
Yeah, credit cards.
Yeah.
That was the one. And mobile plans.
You can't, obviously in Australia, use the children's games and toys to advertise credit cards because
that's a very...
for obvious reasons you can't do that. The same reason that you can't advertise like Pikachu branded cigarettes.
Yeah, but in Japan,
they don't have those. They don't have those laws against advertising.
Yeah, that is a wild thing about being in Japan. Like they will advertise.
Come get a credit card. You can trust Pikachu. He wouldn't lead you astray.
Yeah, I want him managing my finances.
Aggo Man approves of Philip Morris tobacco.
Oh,
you can't. Yeah.
Yeah, because he makes fire. But
hopefully
anyway,
you get a Philip Morris sponsorship.
Yeah. Oh, please no. But yeah. So, any other thoughts? Or are you ready to leave and not talk about Digimon anymore?
No, I can leave and not talk and not think about Digimon.
Until you enter this room again.
Until I have 6 months.
Yeah. Oh, and also Taichi has porn magazines. That was something.
Oh yeah, that's true. He had the porn under the bed. Yeah, and the Digimon pulled it out.
Yeah, and they were saying, "Oh, Taichi, you've grown," and Taichi's like, "Agumon, you've not grown at all." Which
is like the mental state of the Digimon seems to go up as they Digivolve. So next question: what Digivolve level do you have to be at to watch porn? And these are questions that we'd like answers to.
Yeah.
And I'll be adding it to my letter to Mr. Digimon
to
Rider.
Mr. Digimon Rider.
Because you can't watch it at that one form above. Is it cool? Like.
Yeah, well, it goes child and then adult.
Oh, so okay.
Yeah.
Which isn't adult, but then again, it's Japanese porn, so it's probably soft stuff.
Maybe. Well, in the Tamagotchi, where Digimon kind of start as a Tamagotchi. In the Tamagotchis, they go baby, child, teen, adult.
Right.
And then they kind of go secret character, or they die after adult.
Oh, good.
but the Digimon go baby, baby 2, child, adult, perfect, ultimate, super ultimate.
There's more information than
I'm so sorry.
He's
all my information.
As soon as I walk out of the door, that's gone from my brain.
The information stays in this room.
Yeah.
But so nothing else? No? Alright, well, thank you so much for joining me and talking to me about Digimon. Mm-hmm. And I know you're very excited to leave the room and forget everything you know about Digimon. Mm-hmm. Alright, well, thank you. Alright everyone, so thanks for listening, and next time I'm assuming we'll be covering Digimon Ghost Game with Quinn and Chloe, which we'll be recording tomorrow when it comes out, but also when this is released, also today. It's weird when we release and record on different episodes, but anyway, so the Redbubble's in the description, and you can get more than just shirts there too. You can contact us and stay updated. You can email us at LostinTranslationmon@gmail.com, or you can comment on this episode or message us on our website, LostinTranslationmon.com. You can follow us at TranslationMon on Twitter, and you can find us on Lost in TranslationMon on Tumblr, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I'm at Digimon_Hero on TikTok, hero spelt Hiro, and you can chat with us on the Lost in TranslationMon Discord server. We have a discussion thread on With the Will, and one on the Digimon subreddit, but the Kizuna one is a little bit old now, so I think it might be archived, but you can definitely have a look and make a post if you're so inclined. We would appreciate if you review us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and any podcast catcher that you use, because ratings apparently assist people finding out about the podcast, and if I find them, I'll read them out, and if not, let me know and I'll read it out. You can donate to us on Patreon, and that's linked in the description, from as little as $1 a month, and that gets you access to the Patreon-only areas of our Discord server, but there are higher levels, more rewards such as unedited and early episodes, and more. And thank you to our current supporters on Patreon, Joe, Stephen Rees, who's Wild64 on Archive Our Own, Kadawashi, Chisai, who can follow on Twitter at Chisai236, Neobu, who says you should follow Chisai on Twitter at Chisai236, Kyle, Lizmet, who's Lekman on Tumblr, Nicholas, Sam, Amory from Gone While Hunting, a Hunter x Hunter Rewatch podcast, Magnus, Lucas, JCMon05, Patrick, Jason, Grey Tanugi, and Jay David. You can also make a one-off donation on PayPal, which we found in the description. It's paypal.me/Edgemon. Or you can also donate to me on my Coffee account, ko-fi.com/airdrop. So of course, thanks for listening, and we will see you all in the next one. Bye!